All of you step back, I have something to discuss with this person alone. At this moment, Empress Qingyu's voice actually had a hint of panic hidden in it. But Empress, could it be that what I said doesn't work anymore? Or do you guys think that my status as an empress is just for show? Empress Qingyu's icy cold voice came out, instantly causing those who tried to stay to feel an extremely majestic pressure. It was as if 10,000-meter mountains were pressing straight down, making them feel as if even breathing was a bit difficult. Yes, Empress. No one dared to disobey Empress Qingyu's orders anymore. Moreover, with Empress Qingyu's strength, no one believed that a mere disciple of the devil sect could threaten her. The cultivators guarding the sides all retreated, and only Niechen and Empress Qingyu were left in the large hall. Chu Qingyu was also regarded as Empress Qingyu by both the righteous and the devilish in the world. Countless people had been so mesmerized by her, and countless people had worshipped her as if she were a fairy banished from the 9 heavens. But now, her hand holding the letter paper was slightly trembling, because the words written on this letter made her heart a little messy. The world calls you an empress, but I only wish for you to become a clear moon. Because the moonlight spilling from the clear moon will eventually spill into my heart, making everything about you mine forever. The moonlight spilling down is not as beautiful as 1/10,000th of you, and everything in this world is only worthy of being a reflection of you. Although I am also one of that most mediocre reflections, I am willing to pursue you with everything I have. Hold your hand and grow old with your son, yes, that's you, Empress Qingyu. This line of text, although incomparably carnal and even appearing somewhat childish, allowed Chu Qingyu to feel an incomparably genuine and true love in it. The word empress was an honor, yet it was also a burden at the same time. For many years, Chu Qingyu had been viewed as a towering presence that no one dared to approach easily. For many years, she spent her time alone, sleeping with the long nights. But how many people noticed that she was also just a youthful maiden of over 600 years old, also thinking that others could have emotions other than respect towards her. But at one time, that was all just imagination. Until, that is, the appearance of this letter. One was confessed to. Before becoming an empress, she had devoted herself to cultivation without asking about the world, and after becoming an empress, she was feared by everyone in the world and no one dared to touch her, but she had never imagined that she would still be able to have this day. But the other party was a devil disciple, how could she accept it so easily? Chu Qingyu's thoughts rose and fell as she pursed her lips lightly. You dared to come to the heavenly cloud palace alone to deliver this letter, do you know the possible consequences? Senior naturally knows. How could Nietzsche not know? If he, a disciple of the devil sect, ran to the main camp of the righteous path to deliver a letter of war, what other consequences could there be besides death? He knew the consequences, yet he still came. Unconsciously, the defenses in Chu Qingyu's heart relaxed slightly. Even though it was the first time she had been confessed to, her reasoning wasn't easily consumed. It was just that Niechen's frankness as well as his boldness did impress her. At the very least, it could be proven that despite being in the devil sect, Niechen hadn't been drenched in the dregs of the devil sect. Then, have you ever thought about the possibility that you might fail? Lightly opening her vermilion lips, Chu Qingyu asked again. Failure? Referring to the fact that she wasn't going to pay any attention to the battle letter at all? Niechen was puzzled in his heart, but he quickly found room to pat himself on the back in the middle of the conversation, so he immediately said with a sense of a bit of sadness. I've also thought that I'll most likely fail, however, I already feel that it's enough for me to be able to see Empress Qingyu with my own eyes on this trip. After saying that, he also glanced at the distance with great pathos. These seemingly ordinary words, which even carried a bit of a sense of politeness, entered Chu Qingyu's ears but became completely different. Knowing that he will almost certainly fail, he still disregarded his identity as a disciple of the devil sect and came to the heavenly cloud palace alone, just to give me a love letter. For a moment, her heart suddenly shook a little. Walking step by step to her current position as empress, Chu Qingyu had seen too many vicissitudes of the world. She had also thought that if she really entrusted her life to someone, she did not necessarily require the other party to be as powerful or have a high cultivation level. As long as the other person's heart was sincere enough, that would be enough. And at this moment, Niechen's performance had clearly exceeded her expectations. Strange, why is there something wrong with Empress Qingyu's expression? Raising his head, Niechen suddenly noticed that Chu Qingyu as originally as if she was as cool as if she hadn't eaten the earth's smoke and fire was currently carrying a sense of entanglement, and her autumn water-like clear water-shedding eyes were also surging with a different kind of sentiment. This is obviously not quite in line with common sense. The last question, the letter said, are true? Or, do you really love me that much? A touch of moving haze red inadvertently climbed onto Chu Qingyu's face, causing her to shyly rush to incline her head. At the same time, the letter was finally presented to Niechen. The world refers to you as a female emperor, but I only wish for you to become a clear moon. Because the moonlight shed by the clear moon will eventually spill into my heart, making everything about you mine forever. The moment he read the contents, Niechen instantly felt a falling thunderclap crash down in his heart. Crap, what the hell is this? Wasn't the one you sent yourself a war letter? When did it turn into a love letter? What's even more outrageous is that the words written on the letter were as fleshy as they could be, and a few of them were even overbearingly awkward, so just looking at them made Niechan feel like goosebumps were going to fall off all over his body. This kind of letter can't be written without a few years' history of middle-aged sickness, so isn't it looking for death to show it to the Empress? Wait a minute. Gazing at Chu Qingyue's expression, Niechan suddenly realized an even more serious fact. Hall Qingyu Empress, by countless people regarded as can only be viewed from afar, absolutely not profane play existence, at this moment is actually not only not angry, but on the contrary, seems to be with a few points of shyness? Hey, dog system, is this the system auxiliary function you were talking about? Niechan immediately called the system in his mind. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully guessing. It was this system that utilized the auxiliary function to convert the war letter into a love letter in order for the host to successfully complete the overrating task. You're telling me this is called a raid? Wait, it seems like it's really called a raid. Niechan suddenly realized a problem that he had been ignoring. Before, he had always thought that the raiders that the system referred to meant defeating by force. But the truth was, raiders could mean more than just defeating. Paying attention to the Empress Chu Qingyue's expression, Niechan's eyes couldn't help but stutter slightly. Because, it was simply too beautiful. Empress Qingyue's beauty had long been something known to all of heaven, but he only realized it after actually seeing the real person with his own eyes. Compared to the rumors that sounded even slightly exaggerated, Chu Qingyue's appearance was not only not the slightest bit inferior, but on the contrary, it was even more heartwarming than the rumors. Moreover, he had never thought that he would actually be able to make Empress Qingyu reveal such a look by mistake. By the way, if I say now that I didn't actually write the love letter, and that what I said just now was all a misunderstanding, what would be the consequences? Niechan asked secretly in his mind. Ding, after the system's big data assessment, if the host utters the above words, there's a high probability that it'll trigger the Qingyu Empress's wrath, and ultimately have her soul beaten out of her body. This is really ruthless. Niechan couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva. Sure enough, women were definitely not as simple as they appeared on the surface. The Qingyu Empress's inadvertent display of a shy demeanor had almost allowed herself to let her guard down and treat her as an ordinary, soft woman. Fortunately, he reacted in time, otherwise, his life would definitely be accounted for here. In other words, he had completely gotten on board. Niechan's heart crossed. At this moment, if he didn't say anything, he was completely dead. However, if he showed his determination to love, he might be able to win so much as a sliver of a chance at life. Niechan's expression instantly became firm, his eyes looking squarely into Chu Qingyue's eyes. That's right, even though my identity is a disciple of the devil sect. However, my love for the Empress is definitely not mixed with any semblance of falsehood. I can guarantee that my love is like the sun that hangs high in the clear sky, without the slightest hint of concealment. Like the torrential river, it will never stop flowing. If the Empress really thinks that I'm up to something, she can cut open my heart and see if I'm really lying. Knowing that Empress Qingyu couldn't resist romantic love words, Niechan immediately launched a chain attack. Snap. Finally, the envelope in Chu Qingyue's hand fell to the ground.